This Friday, get ready for a full night of spooky spells and mixed up magic. It's Witches and Wizards Night. Friday starting at 8/7 Central on Disney Channel.
Life used to be so simple. This Halloween, I just thought it would be a lot of fun to get into the Halloween spirit exactly how I used to when I was a kid, by having a mini Disney Channel Halloween marathon where we watch a bunch of classic Disney Channel shows, Halloween episodes. And as we go, I'm also going to rank the episodes, both in terms of their Halloween vibes and also about how good the episode is. So let's just go ahead and get right into it, starting off in 2001 with Even Stevens.
This year, Disney Channel is celebrating Halloween 5 days early. Don't miss the Scarathon Marathon with your host. Only on Disney Channel.
But Even Stevens, such a classic show. This is kind of a weird comparison, but it's always felt like the kid version of Community. And I'll also never understand how the Even Stevens movie isn't revered as like a Disney Channel classic. I just think it's such a good kids movie. But let's get on to the Halloween episode of the Even Stevens show. Season 2, episode 13, A Very Scary Story. This is Kim Possible, by the way. Something I never realized when I was a kid.
Honey, you're getting chased by 6 mutants and you're just deciding to take a shower?
The kid version of Shia LaBeouf was hilarious.
Ren, why are you so jumpy? I just wanted to show you my penguin jockey costume for Halloween, that's all, Ren.
I actually feel like Even Stevens wouldn't have even worked without Shia. He's just always killing it in the show. This episode was fun because this show is just fun, but the plot was pretty stupid. These teachers are giving free eye exams, and I'll just let Shia explain it to you.
They'll start zapping our eyes and then they'll fall out and then we have to drink milk. It's a big store, we gotta go.
Anyways, this gets an A. It's really not too bad, and the Halloween vibes were there. So, especially since I already brought her up, let's talk about Kim Possible.
And now back to Disney Channel's original series, Kim Possible.
Before I actually get to the show, though, I have to bring up that Kim Possible was also in Cadet Kelly, and her name in that is Jennifer Stone. A whole 5 years before the real Jennifer Stone ended up joining Disney Channel. Isn't that just weird? So Kim Possible is, of course, a high school cheerleader and a world-saving secret agent. This is a show that I watched pretty often as a kid, but it's also one of the ones that I wouldn't really go out of my way to watch. I was like that with a lot of the more girl-oriented shows. Like as a kid, I just thought if it had a girl main character, then it was for girls. The Kim Possible theme song is such an insane banger. I'm an old man at this point, and no kids had phones while I was in elementary school. So the show had long since ended by the time kids my age started getting phones. But I still remember that so many people, and more boys than girls too, had the Kim Possible theme song as their ringtone, and especially the little as their text tone.
Call me, beat me if you wanna reach me. When you wanna face me.
That's so good. Anyways, the episode. Season 1, episode 14. October 31st. Honestly, this episode wasn't very interesting at all. And it also barely feels like a Halloween episode. Kim Possible gets this ring stuck on her that keeps expanding and encasing her in metal every time she lies, like Pinocchio.
You expect me to believe that the Kim Possible lied?
But then at least the second half of the episode has some trick-or-treating and a Halloween party. But really, the episode would basically be the exact same if the Halloween theme was just removed. So, C. That might need to move down to a D, but I'm pretty sure we're gonna get worse episodes than this. Let's talk about the Proud Family.
I hope you'll be there.
Oh yeah! The Proud Family. Tomorrow at 7/6 Central on Disney Channel.
Which has another banger of a theme song. And actually, I had no idea that it was Solange with Beyonce as backup vocals.
Family, a family, proud family. They'll make you
Yeah, I mean, yeah, of course it's a banger. The episode we're checking out has a guest star, which apparently is something the show did. I don't remember that. But really, I probably just didn't realize that because I didn't know who any of these people were as like a 5-year-old or whatever I was watching this. They had Steve Harvey, Mos Def, Kobe Bryant, Ashanti, Smokey Robinson, Alicia Keys, Samuel L. Jackson, Mariah Carey, and there's tons more guest stars too. So let's go ahead and see who the guest star is in the episode we're watching. Season 2, Episode 2, A Hero for Halloween.
How about it? Think you can manage? Fantastic!
Today is Halloween.
Literally the first thing this episode does is announce that it's Halloween and then announce the headliner, Lil Romeo.
That's right. Right here at the fabulous Wizard Kelly Auditorium.
From No Limit. Were Lil Romeo and Lil Bow Wow actually popular with kids in the early 2000s? I didn't know that. Kids in my elementary school listened to exclusively like Green Day and Hollywood Undead. And then I would get made fun of for listening to Michael Jackson. There definitely were not kids in my school listening to Lil Bow Wow or Lil Romeo.
I'm dressed as Luther Vandross, skinny Luther.
Like seriously though, were other kids understanding a Luther Vandross reference like that? So this episode is kind of more about superheroes than it is Halloween. It just gets there because the Proud family is dressed up as superheroes for Halloween. But there is at least Halloween imagery the entire episode, not just like at the party like Kim Possible. So it gets a B. On to That's So Raven.
Oh, snap. We're back to That's So Raven on Disney Channel.
This might just be the best Disney Channel show that there is. Like objectively, it has to be top 3 at least, right? Every character is top tier. All these actors are some of the best ever on Disney Channel. Actually, my girlfriend and I watched Tales from the Hood recently, and I noticed that Raven's mom is in that. And the show's always felt to me like the direct inspiration for Drake and Josh and iCarly. I don't know if that's true at all, but especially Drake and Josh, I felt like always had the same humor as this show. Also, needless to say, the theme song is again a goddamn banger. And I mean, season 2, episode 2, Don't Have a Cow, is pretty much everything I think you'd want from a Halloween episode. Vibes wise, at least. Costumes, trick-or-treating, a Halloween party, and Raven and Chelsea brewing a magic potion and casting spells. And then they turn into cows. By the end of the episode, they are literal cows. I like when sitcoms aren't afraid to get weird and fantastical for their endings of episodes. I remember as a kid, I'd always think like, how can they even make another episode now with an ending like that? But then at the start of the next episode, everything's just normal and I'd forget. But yeah, this episode absolutely gets an A. The Halloween vibes are great, better than the Even Stevens episode. It would be an S if it wasn't also insanely cringe. Like the start of the episode was really good, and then I couldn't handle it anymore once Raven and Chelsea were half cow.
Just move.
It was genuinely awful. Phil of the Future is an awesome time-traveling TV show. There's a caveman named Curtis. I loved it a lot as a kid. This theme song sucks ass.
Meet a boy named Phil and his family.
And I don't think this show has aged very well. Obviously, it's hard to do it too much justice from one highly specific episode, but it's mainly just because of Phil's little sister and her best friend / enemy, the girl from Read It and Weep.
But now, Jamie's imagination isn't just running wild. It's been set how sweet. Kate, Read It and Weep, a Disney Channel original movie. Tomorrow at 8/7 Central on Disney Channel.
No, seriously, season 1, episode 15, Halloween, is 90% about Phil's little sister and her friend. It's a loud and very annoying episode.
Silence!
With no caveman Curtis. And pretty quick after it started, I thought about skipping it entirely, but I just figured I'd leave it in instead, and then we'd move past it really fast.
Don't want me mad.
It's getting an F. The Sweet Life of Zack and Cody.
You're watching Disney Channel.
You'll be seeing double as Zack and Cody take over the Tipton. The Sweet Life of Zack and Cody is coming up next, part of October Takeover.
The old school bumpers in between the shows are hilarious. I don't remember them being so weird, but that goes for the shows too, I guess. Like nonsense, random, derivative slop for children. But I'm nostalgic as fuck. Zack and Cody had such a big influence on me and my little brother, who's actually named Zack. This, Hannah Montana, and Wizards of Waverly Place are kinda the big three for Disney Channel. Season 1, episode 19, Ghost of 613.
Everybody knows there's only one thing to really be afraid of on Halloween, and that's ghosts. Especially when they're the lonesome ghosts.
Now, I'm not saying season 1, episode 19, Ghost of 613 is like some high quality episode of TV, but this is just unbelievably watchable compared to everything else so far. It's insane. Who knows how much of that is bias? But really, next to these other Halloween episodes, it's actually like a work of art. It's still got that classic Disney cringe, don't get me wrong, but it creeped me out as a kid, but I'd still always be excited to watch it. I swear, sometimes the music from Mr. Mosby's flashback will just pop into my head randomly.
I had just started working at the Tipton as a bellhop. It was a dark and stormy night, and I was working diligently. Oh man, I gotta
catch me some Z's! Esteban and Arwen are just the best. I feel like the entire reason Sweet Life on Deck didn't work is because they got rid of them. They took out the best part of the show, and that's kind of what also ruined Mr. Mosby's character, because in that show, he basically only gets to interact with teenagers. I'm actually realizing now that this Zack and Cody episode isn't even a Halloween episode. It's just a spooky episode, and they would air it in October. But it still gets an S tier. Fuck you. We gotta talk about American Dragon, Jake Long.
Yo, make mine extra cheesy, dog.
Hey, you're plenty cheesy already.
American Dragon Jake Long on Disney Channel.
It's kind of got a through line to the story from what I remember, and I just know I watched every episode as a kid. This is the most underrated show I'm talking about for sure. And I was so into it that after I watched the last episode and finished the story, I vividly remember just being so sad about it. Why am I talking about this? Season 1, episode 19, The Halloween Bash. Yeah, I was definitely right about it being a non-episodic show with a through line, because I pretty much had no idea what was going on, besides the Halloween party with the worst rapping ever.
To save the holiday, I do believe we gotta chill on the stress and the final exams. We gotta get loose.
But,
It's your Halloween miracle.
oh wow, that's definitely Carl Weezer.
I am Dracula. It's your Halloween miracle.
What a distinct voice. You know, this has nothing to do with American Dragon, but that also reminds me, Muriel from Zack and Cody
I got 3 clock radios and a DVD player hidden in here.
is the voice of Mrs. Potato Head.
Don't talk to any toy you don't know.
Yeah, that's all I got. This episode gets a D. The Replacements.
Is destroyed. Who did it? Find out on an all-new Replacements. Monday at 2:30, 1:30 Central.
Wow. Now this is a forgotten show. Even mostly by me, who I know I loved this show as a kid. This theme song unlocked a weird part of my brain that feels like it hasn't existed for a very long time.
Todd and Riley were both so sad. Then they came across a fleeing co-ad. Get the replacements.
Season 1, episode 15, Halloween Spirits. This episode is making me second guess if I should even be ranking these. Ranking them is fun, but it makes me watch them too seriously almost. And this was just so boring. I do not remember this show being so fast-paced at all. Like in the editing style, and all the characters just talk super fast-paced. I don't know. It's actually really weird.
The sweet, sweet candy. I can picture it now. Bars and drops and sprinkles and swirls and a virtual cornucopia.
In my brain, this was like a slower-paced spy sort of show. And at least this episode just did not give that vibe at all. It was lots of Halloween stuff happening, but it still didn't feel like a Halloween episode. This just gets an F tier. Let's move on. Hannah Montana.
Meet Miley Stewart. She's one girl leading a double life.
I'm Hannah Montana.
Hannah Montana rocks on the Disney Channel this month.
It's so funny how different it is watching these shows as a kid when all these people are older than you. I always felt like they were so grown, you know? And then watching it now, it's like, that's a 10-year-old. Me and my girlfriend both thought that the zombie episode with that guy, Jake, was the Halloween episode, but it's actually not. Does anyone else remember that episode like way more than almost any other? Because me and my girlfriend both have that one way more vivid than any others for some reason. Season 1, episode 17 is Torn Between Two Hannahs. This episode barely has any Halloween elements until you guessed it. The second half of the episode, where the B plot is trick-or-treating, while the A plot is a Halloween party. That's been the formula for a lot of these episodes for some reason. So this could also just not be a Halloween episode. It's mostly about Hannah Montana's Tennessee cousin who just happens to be an identical lookalike. And she comes to visit and steals Hannah Montana's identity because she wants to go to the Halloween party and expose Miley's Hannah Montana secret. That's about it. And of course, it ends with the two of them getting mixed up and her two closest friends having to figure out who is the real one with a test. Like any good evil twin plot should.
I know how to tell which is the real Miley. Both of you kiss me.
Okay. Ew.
That's Miley.
Is Lily supposed to be an Oompa Loompa? What is this costume? Whatever. This gets a C. The Emperor's New School.
This big guy is Kronk. He's helping Yzma try and take the throne from me.
I don't think so. Disney Channel original series, The Emperor's New School. Saturdays at 9:30, 8:30 Central on Disney Channel.
This is a weird show, but I like it because it is so unique, just like Emperor's New Groove itself is. Top tier Disney movie. Obviously in the movie, David Spade is Cusco, but not in the show. In the show, he's actually voiced by the principal from Minutemen, who I always also thought was the principal in Community. You're telling me these are different people? He does a pretty good David Spade, though.
Yo, Cusco trivia buffs. You know which holiday is the most Cusco-rific?
I actually think all the other voices are the same. Yzma is definitely Eartha Kitt.
Cusco used to be so much fun.
You can't replicate that voice. And Kronk is still Patrick Warburton.
Yes! I love Cuscoing. No, I don't.
So the first half, season 1, episode 31, the Yzma that stole Cuscoine, was actually about Halloween, and it was honestly pretty decent. It legitimately felt like Halloween-themed baby version of Emperor's New Groove. It was pretty good. But then the second half, season 1, episode 32, Monster Masquerade, wasn't Halloween at all, and it also sucked. And it was nonsense.
Lucky you!
The first episode gets a B, and the second one gets an F. Now we're back to Zach and Cody.
Yay, me! I get to announce that The Sweet Life of Zach and Cody's coming up right here on Disney Channel. Yay, me!
Season 3, episode 12, Arwenstein. And I definitely remember this episode really well. I just watched a shit ton of Zach and Cody as a kid. That was always my favorite show. So yeah, even though I remember this, it's honestly crazy how far removed it feels from the other Halloween episode we watched. This is only 2 seasons later, and it feels like a different show. Feels more like what I remember Sweet Life on Deck being. Arwen does actually make me laugh though.
Arwen, what are you doing here?
Well, there are 2 theories. One is evolution, the other is...
This episode is basically Arwen interacting with robot Arwen, so I just enjoyed it. I don't know what's wrong with me.
I had a costume that scared the bejeebies out of the entire staff.
Oh, yeah? What'd you go as?
You! Dun, dun, dun! I had a tiny little suit, a tiny little name tag. Oh, and I got down on my tiny little knees. I was like...
This did kind of just feel like they were trying to recapture the magic of that one Arwen bowling episode? I don't remember, but I swear that one had genuinely good jokes. I'm tempted to give this Halloween episode an A, but that's gotta be bias. It's getting a B, which means it's finally time to discuss the actual greatest Disney Channel show ever created. Phineas and Ferb!
Phineas and Ferb are up next, part of October Takeover.
It's kind of funny because in my opinion, all three of the big kids networks each made one of the top 3 greatest cartoons of all time. Disney with Phineas and Ferb, obviously Nickelodeon with SpongeBob, one of the best shows ever, and then Cartoon Network with Adventure Time. But yeah, Phineas and Ferb is way too good. Doofenshmirtz is one of the funniest characters. Unlike almost everything we've watched so far, this show just has actual jokes, not just weird, random things happening for little kids.
That old fake window trick. Wait a second, how did you... Can't believe I fell for the old fake Perry the Platypus bit. That was pretty good, Perry the Platypus. I gotta give you props on that one.
But anyways, the Phineas and Ferb Halloween episode, Season 1, Episode 40, The Monster of Phineas and Ferbenstein. I love this episode. I remember it very well. It's about Phineas and Ferb's ancestors, Dr. Phineas Stein and Ferb Gore. And I always thought it was so cool how the whole episode is in black and white.
The boys began building their monster.
Can you at least tell the story in color, Grandpa?
Oh, never mind. For some reason, I remember it being an all black and white episode, but it was only black and white for like 30 seconds.
Doofenshmirtz Evil Incorporated.
What? Okay, I'm cracked at recognizing samples, so maybe no one else will notice what I've just noticed. When Perry opens the door right here, it plays a sped up version of whatever A$AP Rocky samples in his song Electric Body. Sorry, hearing that just tripped me out so hard. Anyways, this is just a really good episode. A very good for kids retelling of Frankenstein. For sure better than Arwenstein. So it's just gonna get an S. Next up is the worst show I'm talking about today. Jonas.
It's 3 times 3 times 3 times the fun. Jonas is coming up next, part of the Jonas Cubed Marathon.
I would watch this as a kid because I was actually a big Jonas Brothers fan. They were the first concert I ever saw. But even then, I always knew this show was bad. So I'm sure this episode will be too. Season 1, Episode 17, The Tale of the Haunted Firehouse. That's right. That immediately reminds me of how the Jonas Brothers live in a firehouse in this show for some reason. This is like a found footage episode where they're looking for a ghost.
Sorry, Stella. My temperature gauge is a little pointy.
What? Did he? Whatever. I completely forgot that the girl from Minutemen is even in this show. Seriously though, almost nothing happens in this episode. It's just the 3 Jonas Brothers running around, screaming, and being bad actors and making jokes, if you can call them that. This is the easiest F tier of my life. Wizards of Waverly Place.
Next, don't move. You never know what lurks in the shadows. It's the Wizards of Waverly Place Magical Mischief Marathon, part of Wiztober on Disney Channel.
It's really surprising, actually, that there's only one Wizards of Waverly Place Halloween episode. I guess that's because the show itself is so Halloween adjacent. Tons of episodes feel like they could be Halloween episodes. Like, especially I remember an episode where they're parodying a teen slasher movie, and I was surprised to find out that that episode aired in December. Also, for being set in Manhattan, it's always been weird to me how little this show ever feels like New York. The only thing I can remember is this kid Frankie, who's like a little mobster and is always scamming Justin.
Good day.
Anyways, Season 3, Episode 2, Halloween.
Dare to listen to this Oktoberfest shout-out from Amanda.
Hey kid, how about you blow off your homework, stay up late, and play a video game with us?
So this episode is about them planning a magic haunted house and going into the wizard portal to get, I guess these are ghosts. I kind of like this sailor guy, actually.
It's me of a scary story
There he was.
Oh man. I do remember this episode too. Kids are so easily entertained. Does anyone remember how often episodes would rerun? There are some episodes I know I saw a bunch as a kid, but they're like usually in the first season or two. So they'd probably just do reruns of the past seasons during the current seasons, I guess. This gets a C, I think.
Oh, I love Halloween.
Well, we watched almost all of the episodes from the 2000s in this video. Maybe in future years I can do this again with more shows or 2010s or 90s shows. And also Halloween episodes for Nickelodeon and Cartoon Network. I had a lot of fun doing this and hopefully you guys enjoy it too. If you do, I will definitely be doing a Christmas version in just a couple of months here. Yeah, I guess I don't have any more to say. Like and subscribe if you like and subscribe. Happy Halloween.